honor of our Veterans Day coming up this Friday, and in honor of what is happening this week in our country.
What?
It's called freedom, and we're going to exercise it. Let's all pledge our allegiance to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Maybe so.
Amen, right? Let's remember that.
Let's get to work, yeah? All right, let's close our eyes, take a deep breath in, and sigh on the exhale. One more time, take a deep breath in. You know, when we sing Om Shanti at the end of this call and response section, that Om Shanti, I'd like you to visualize, if you will, that underneath the surface of the earth here, the very earth that we stand on, there is a vibration and there is an energy that is untouched by what is above it. It doesn't matter what's happening on the surface. It only matters what happens at the core. And so when we sing Om Shanti, we're allowing ourselves to become one with that energy of the universe. So I want you to visualize, if you will, not your problems, not your issues, but just visualize for yourself going into that space, going deep into that core and allowing the outside world to not touch the very vibration of who you are. So take that opportunity now in this moment to just clear that away. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your love will light my way. Show me the way. Sing after me, please. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your love will light my way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your peace will light my way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your truth will light my way. And your love will light my way. And your peace will light my way. And your truth will light my way. Om Shanti, 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 Om
Good morning, Palm Desert. I invite you to join me in consciousness as we recognize the one power, the one divine presence, the one infinite wisdom and intelligence that operates through the entire universe, expressing as all love, all life, and all humanity. We are one with this power. It expresses with us, as us, and through us. It is the love that we are. It is the truth that manifests through our lives. It is the oneness and the wholeness and the love of all spirit, and we are one with it. As we affirm our oneness with spirit, we also affirm our wholeness. We are body, mind, soul, and spirit, and we are one wholeness, one divine truth made manifest. Each one of us here has been given the gift of life, the gift of love, the gift of peace, and we manifest that through our lives day to day, moment by moment, hour by hour. We are one with this divine presence, and we are one with each other as we recognize the oneness with which we live our lives. Before, during, and after Tuesday, we will be this wholeness. We are this wholeness now, and we surrender to the infinite wisdom of spirit that guides us as we let this week unfold. With gratitude for all that we are, all that we will be, and all that we have ever been, we simply say, thank you, God, and we let it be so. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my serenity. As within, all around, all I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love, and I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Everybody take your hands like this. Just like you're getting your hands really warm. And let's just radiate our energy out into this world. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I'll bring it back here. Take a deep breath in. Thank you, Gino. All right, let's go. Let's go to work. We got a lot to cover today. Yes? I know. Here we go. William, slides up, please. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Actually, no, we already did that. Your overwhelming response, by the way, was candlelight service. So we're going to have a candlelight service on the Saturday night at 7 o'clock. There's not enough people to warrant having a Christmas Day service, so we'll be having a candlelight at 7 o'clock. It's going to be, I'm not sure we haven't done the music yet, but it's going to be a little bit different than what we've done before. So stay tuned. Plan on candlelight, 7 o'clock. Bring some family and friends. I know they'll love it. All right, 2016, building a world that works for everyone. Today we're talking about wholeness. That's our monthly theme. We've shifted into wholeness now, which I think is really timely because given what's going to go on, again, in the country this week, we want to all shift to a place of wholeness and togetherness, unity, correct? Let's see how that happens. We see our world with an understanding of wholeness. Today's talk, can we return to wholeness? That's the question, can we return to wholeness? Before I begin, I wanted to pull up this scripture. In the book of Malachi, it says, "Put me to the test and see if I do not open the floodgates of heaven for you and pour out an abundant blessing for you." Prove me now. Prove it. Put me to the test. The universe is saying, put me to the test and see if I don't provide blessings for you. I think we've all been going through a lot of testing lately, all right? And I think as spiritual beings, we can say, okay, I'm ready. I'm putting this to the test. We're going to put this to the test. Begin to live as if this promise were true. Talk and think and act as there were a limitless power attending you on your journey. On your journey through life, and there will be. You must first respond to God for God to respond to you. So here we go. That's your affirmation. Really? All week long, right? All day Monday, all day Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Say it for me. Prove me now. That's right. I don't care if it's an election. I don't care if it's your relationships. I don't care if it's your finances or a job or a health condition. You know what? That's a really great affirmation. Just one declaration into the universe. Say it for me, please. Prove me now. There you go. Let's just hold that idea. I have a video after this. A complaining spirit is a first caller, then a guest, and finally a master. A complaining spirit is a first a caller, you know what I mean? Casual, one time. Then they become a guest that never leaves because then they become the master. So as we're moving into this kind of function within our phase and function in your own evolution, in our country's evolution, just remember, if we're starting to complain and we're being complainers, we're not fostering the healed condition. We're not having anything to do with the healed condition, we're just complaining. All right? So I have a video that was made by the Mile High Church in Denver. And it's about voting, because one of the biggest things we do as religious scientists, as people who believe in the science of mind, is we believe we have free will and free choice, but we have to exercise that. So they created a wonderful little video. I'm glad they did it so we didn't have to. So it's a really cool video. So William, if you turn the house lights down a little bit, and then can you pop that video up for me?
Your voice and your vote count.
Your voice is strong.
Your voice is love.
Love.
Am I doing it right?
Sometimes on our spiritual path, we can become disenchanted.
Disenchanted.
And choose not to participate in the politics of our time.
One way to inspire your participation
Is to have ministers. Ministers.
Ministers.
Ministers.
And then some more ministers.
Reverends,
Doctors.
Almost too many ministers.
And one random guy.
Let's remember that one of the ways we vote is the way we are being.
Are you leaning out?
Or are you leaning in?
Is there too much drama?
Too much noise.
Too much divisiveness?
Do you wish you were Canadian? I'm a Canadian, and I want to encourage you to vote. Your election of your president is more impactful on my country than the election of our own prime minister.
Remember that just as
Every vote counts.
in the outcome of an election,
Every opinion we cast into the debate
Has a ripple effect.
Ripple effect.
Ripple effect.
If we lob anger, bitterness, and hatred towards others,
we create strife and stress.
On Facebook. If we respond with respect and open-mindedness,
We contribute to a public discussion
That is more thoughtful and clear. Treat others as you would have them treat you.
And speak to others as you would have them speak to you.
I prefer to be spoken to in a whisper.
There doesn't have to be animosity, spite, bitterness, and revenge.
if we disagree with each other.
there can be consideration and respect that opens the collective thought to what is doable.
And to what serves the collective good.
Participate
in the public debate with love,
honor, and with respect.
And consideration.
It makes all the difference.
As we work to achieve oneness,
Oneness.
we must engage with one another.
As a community and as a nation.
This vote is about the world itself.
As members of an awakening community and nation,
it's our time.
It's our time to lean in with open eyes
And open hearts.
To the messy, chaotic,
Yet important work of democracy.
Your engagement and your vote matter more now than ever.
this is the time that calls each of us to express the truth of our oneness.
Vote.
Good, I don't have to cover that. All right. Never surrender your dream to the noisy negatives. I think that video kind of explained that too. Don't surrender your dream to the noisy negatives. It's easy when, especially when there's a lot of naysayers in your own personal life, don't surrender your dreams to those people who don't believe in you. Does that make sense? You may think they believe in you, but if they're creating a lot of noisy negatives, you really have to question whether or not they belong with you. Ooh. The reason some people don't go very far in life is because they sidestep opportunity and shake hands with procrastination. Anybody? See? Yeah, okay, 7 of us, good. All right, so, and you know what I love? Every time I ask this question, it's the same 4 to 7 people all the time. So I feel really confident that you and I could really get along really well. Of course, we wouldn't get anything done because we're procrastinators, but we would get along really well. You know, a lot of times in our own personal lives, we can't procrastinate. We can't like set aside and say, okay, this is our good's gonna happen later. We have to engage in the process. And I think that's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about keeping fully engaged in this process. And you know what? People don't go very far when all they do is delay their good. You know, when they're always waiting for something to happen in order for them to achieve their good. When something happens, then I'll be happy. We got to get away from that consciousness. Take a tip from our Creator. Your ears aren't made to shut, but your mouth is. And you're also, there's 2 of these and 1 of these. So you're supposed to listen twice as much as you speak. Tuesday? Wednesday? Listen. Watch this. Listen twice as much as we speak. Think about it. All right? I'm trying to give us tips to get through this week. Does that make sense? Yes. I know that's not necessarily the most important thing in everyone's life right now, but it seems to be kind of burning and the issue of the day. So you can apply this to this week, or you can apply it to your life in any way, shape, or form. Whatever's going on in your world, that applies, whether it's a relationship or whether it's this thing that's happening this week. Say it to me, please. Prove me now. Absolutely. We will do well to listen to this inner voice, for it tells us of a life be wonderful in its scope, of a love beyond our fondest dreams, and a freedom which the soul craves. So, you know what? What's really interesting in this whole process is to watch how passionately everyone is on either side. Okay? Now, let's disengage what's being said, and let's engage about why it's being said and where it's coming from. All right? There's a lot of passion and a lot of emotion around this process, and around the platforms and things. So we will do well to listen to the inner voice. It tells us of a life. So when you hear something and when it resonates with you, by all means, move in that direction. If you hear something and it doesn't resonate you, by all means, pay attention to it. That's all it says. That's all I'm saying in this. What resonates with you, move with it and act accordingly. What really doesn't resonate with you, then make sure you back up and say, no, this doesn't feel right. But by all means, listen to that internal voice that's driving you. All right? We shall never arrive at the truth by the denial of fact and stating the fact is an illusion. The world is not a world of illusions. It is just as real as it's supposed to be. So a lot of people want to think, and I hear this said a lot, God, I just wish this had never happened. I wish this had never gone on. Oh my gosh, how are we going to put the Jello back in the cage, or whatever they call it? How are we going to move all this together back again? How are we going to put all this together? How are we going to do this? Well, you know what? First thing we have to do is arrive that this is not an illusion. This is supposed to be happening. This is supposed to happen. This is supposed to happen right now. For whatever reason, we don't know. We don't know, and I can't answer that question, but this is supposed to happen right now. And so let's hang on to that idea that this is supposed to happen, and from this, good will come. Whatever happens, good will come from all of this. Whatever happens, good will come from all of this. Do you believe that? Yes. Okay, tentatively. You believe it when it's out of the realm of what's going on in the world. You believe it, good will come from everything because I'm getting a divorce, or I'm getting married, or I have a new job. Good's going to come from this, or even if I lost my job, I know good's going to come from this. But this thing seems to be pretty big. It has a pretty big energy, and it has a lot of emotion, a lot of people attached to it. But why would we say it works in one place but not in another? How can you say it's going to work in your life, but it's not going to work in the lives of all those who are literally live in this country? So you either believe or you don't. You either believe or you don't. Are you with me? Yep. Yes. I choose to believe that good is going to come from all things. Because in my own life, I look at my own life and I look at the lives of people that I counsel and I work with, and I like, Gino, you know what? Your life sucks because someone stole your stuff and your car got killed or car got maimed. But you know what? Good's going to come from this somehow. You're good somehow. We don't see it. When you're trying to hitch a ride and get your merchandise, you're like ticked off. No, I don't see it in the moment. Good comes from everything. And good's going to come from this. But we're not going to see it if we try to deny it. So, you know what? Let's just accept that whatever is, and prove it to me now, the greater good's unfolding. Make sense? Yes. But these facts are merely the outpicturing of an eminence, a presence, an intelligence, and a creativeness which inherent in itself in every form is always transcendent of every form. As Schroeder said, the higher form of intelligence always governs the lower. And that is not an individual. This has nothing to do with the higher intelligence of an individual. The higher intelligence always governs the lower. And guess what? While we are an expression of, we are the image and likeness, we have all that God is, we are not gods. Go try to walk on water. Go over here to Palm Desert Park and go streaming out into the duck park and see what happens. All right? We're not that. But we are governed by this thing, this eminence, this creative presence, this intelligence that governs all things. All things. And we are one of those things. And this process is one of those things. Chaotic as it may be, descent into all the anger and all the stuff going on, this process is part of an unfolding of something greater that must take place now. You didn't script it. How many people have scripted out their lives and it worked out exactly the way they wanted? Anybody? Not one. Good. Okay, see, we all agree. But we do know one thing. It always works for us. Take it from me, please. Prove me now. Bondage is freedom. Love and hate are one attitude. Fear and faith are the same attitude. They are one mind, one mental attitude. There are only different ways of using it to cause it to be manifested. So there's only one line. You see me do this demonstration all the time. This is a visual. There's a line that goes through the middle of this building. And if you would, it's like a telephone wire. And it runs all the way through here, right? And then we have all the bad stuff that happens on this side over here. We have all the good stuff that happens over here. But guess what? It's all one line. It's all one line. There's only one power. It's how we choose to use it and where we want to lock up and hang on to the wire. Does that make sense? Yeah. There's not two different wires. There's only one wire of power. There's only one source of power. We're choosing bondage or freedom. You know what? When the results are going to be announced, which one are you going to choose? You get to choose, and it will be done unto you as you hook onto the wire. Period. Good, bad, or however it is, you will hook the wire. And you will then follow that experience, because you will now hit that. Once you hook the wire, once you actually click into it, you will begin a belief system to support your decision, because the ego can't be wrong. So when you make the decision, you're going to hook onto it, and then everything that happens is going to buttress an argument or support the reason why you're either feeling really good or why you're feeling really bad. But you get to decide that. I get to decide that. So careful where you hook up this week. Careful where you are on that line, because it's all one thing anyway. Choose to be free. Choose to have love. Choose to have faith. Prove it. Prove me now, universe. I'm going to take this as one giant assumption of faith and go, you know what? What is, it's supposed to be, it's going to unfold, however it's going to unfold, for the highest good of all people at some point. It may not feel that way at the beginning. I'm going to choose to be way over here, because to linger way down there is just to add to the descent in the problem. It's not solving anything. Live by the example. Say it with me, please. Prove me now. We must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope. Martin Luther King, Jr. We must accept finite disappointment, so you may not like the results, but you don't lose hope for it. You don't throw in the towel. It just is something that happened. And so it doesn't matter what side you're on here, right? Are you getting this? I'm not picking sides here. I'm trying to be really, right down the center, dead center, because it could go either way. So you know what? If you're disappointed, if you want to make it a really big disappointment, again, click onto the wire. We can make that as long and permanent as you want. It could be as painful and as lengthy as you choose to ride in that space. But I can tell you, once you hook on, changing requires you to reprogram your patterns of belief. And that's just really difficult in situations like this. So let's make the first choice the right choice. Let's make the first choice the right choice. Remind each other. Don't hit each other and don't lecture each other, but remind each other. The first choice, make the right choice the first choice. Does that make sense? What is the will of God? We don't know other than this. The will of God cannot be death. God is the principle of life. The principle of life cannot produce death without destroying itself. So this idea that we're like eating each other up and things like this, we have to watch this, because that is not what the will of God, that we eat each other up. The God, the universe, the God that we know, that I believe in, that I teach here, does not create itself to destroy itself. It creates itself to manifest something greater. Its methodologies are unknown, and you won't be able to figure them out. In other words, you can't dictate the methodology by which your growth will happen. Has anyone tried to dictate the how? Give God the how, you just show up. Give God the how, you just show up. Does that make sense? So when I see this, the principle of God is the principle of life. The principle of life cannot produce death. Okay, Joe, just understand that the will of God is going to be life expanding on life. Anything unlike it is way down the wire, and yes, there may be things that may happen in our world where this is caused, but that's not the will of God, that's the will of people. The will of God is all to do with love. Next thing, the only way to make sense out of change is to jump into it. Move with it and figure it out, and figure out how to dance to it. Put music on Tuesday night. We'll dance, right? Regardless, just dance with it. Look, the only way to make sense out of it is to jump into it and learn to dance the dance with it. Learn how to dance with it. Otherwise, you'll just be a big old wallflower wondering why the party's happening and you're not in it. Because nothing is worth more than this day. Nothing is worth more than this day. Learn to dance with this because nothing is going to be worth more than this day. You, as much as you try, you cannot do this day over again. And I don't care what anybody says, we're marching toward days, less and less days here. Every one of us is marching one day closer to not being here. Does that make sense? Yes. You're never going to be younger than you are today, regardless of Cher's pioneering efforts. We will never be younger than we are today. All right? So knowing that, prove it, hook on. Where's my belief? Nothing is more important than this day. Dance, Joe, dance. Say it with me, please. Prove me now. Again, the book of Malachi. Put me to the test and see if I do not open the floodgates of heaven for you and pour out an abundant blessing for you. Put me to the test. How many people feel like, don't answer. I bet a lot of us feel like we've been put through the ringer and the test. Yeah? So, this, prove me now. And see if there isn't a storehouse of blessings just waiting for us to unfold and revel in that. But we have to believe, first off, where we're going to hook on to it. Because that will be the blessing, or that will be the curse. Begin to live as if this promise were true. Talk, think, and act as though there were a limitless power attending you on your journey through life, and there will be. You must first respond to God for God to respond to you. Does this make sense?
Yes. Yes.
See, I think we can do this. I think we can do this. One last thing I want to share with you. A churchgoer wrote a letter to the editor of a Sunday newspaper and complained that it made no sense to go to church every Sunday. I've gone for 30 years now, he wrote. In that time, I have heard something like 3,000 sermons, but for the life of me, I can't remember a single one of them. So I think I'm wasting my time and the pastors are wasting theirs by giving sermons at all. This started a real controversy in the letters to the editor column, much to the delight of the editor. It went on for weeks until someone wrote this clincher. I've been married for 30 years now. In that time, my wife has cooked some 32,000 meals. But for the life of me, I cannot recall the entire menu for a single one of those meals. But I do know this, they all nourished me and gave me the strength I needed to do my work. If my wife had not given me these meals, I would be physically dead today. Likewise, if I had not gone to church for nourishment, I would be spiritually dead today. My job, I feel, is to help you prove this. To help me prove it and help you prove it. I think my job and our job as a center right now is to be a spiritual community, like Roger said, the minister, Roger, a spiritual community who's actively participating in process and allowing love to come forward regardless of the outcome. Love will prevail if we believe it will. If you believe it will. Hook on, folks. We're in for a ride. And so end your lesson. Thank you.